I've worked with so many clients who say something like this to me. I know I need to do the touchy-feely stuff. I know I've been told that and I really should do it, but look, I'm really busy. I'm trying to run my part of the business here. I have customers to take care of. I've got projects, I've got meetings. They think that the problem is the people who want them to do the touchy-feely stuff, like the listening and the empathy. But really, the problem is how they think about that, we'll just call it touchy-feely stuff. They actually carry it as a badge of honor. Like, hey, I'm a serious business person and I'm here to get results. I'm here to crunch the numbers and achieve some really hard business outcomes. What they're doing is ultimately they're going to limit themselves in their career. Deloitte predicts that soft skill intensive occupations are going to account for 2/3 of all jobs by 2030, and that those kinds of occupations are going to be growing at 2.5 times the rate of all other jobs. In another study, 92% of hiring managers said soft skills are just as important or more important than, quote, hard skills, hard technical skills. And 89% of them said that when a new hire doesn't work out, typically it's because of the soft skills. So when you look at it that way, when you look at employment, when you look at what hiring managers are saying that they're looking for, all of a sudden soft skills really aren't so soft. They're harder than we think. So if you have ever used the term touchy-feely at work, whoever you were talking with knew that you had a different perspective, knew that you weren't necessarily in their camp if there's someone who values those soft skills. And if that person was your boss, then what impact does that have on your income, future earning, future opportunity for advancement? Let's look at 2 steps for improving your soft skills. First, if you're going to improve your soft skills, you have to get your head in the right space. You have to buy in. You have to believe that it's important. Because if you're faking it, it's going to read. People are going to know. And you might say, hey, I faked it in that conversation the other day. They didn't know. And maybe they didn't. Like, you're going to have your one-offs, possibly. But if you make a career out of faking your soft skills, it's not going to work. People are going to know. And you know what? You're ultimately not going to be great at it, because what you believe about something has everything to do with how ultimately skilled you are at it. So 2 things. Number one, know the research. Be up on the stats. Know that the research is showing that soft skills are as or more important than hard skills, and that it's only going to become more that way over the next 10 years and beyond. And then second, observe the people who really rise in their careers and rise up to those, I'm going to say, executive levels. They know this and they tend to be good at it. I remember my very first experience with someone at an executive level where I really got it. And I saw this gentleman in conversation with some members of his team and his team's team, etc. And I'd never seen anyone ask that level of thoughtful questions. I'd never seen such intent listening. And I realized, wow, there's a reason why he's at the level that he is. Not only is he great, technically great at his job, but he is a master of these soft skills that it turns out actually are more hard skills than we thought they were. Second, your soft skills can determine how fast you advance in your career or whether you advance in your career. The research backs it up. And if you've been so focused on being a tough business person and really running the numbers and running the execution, but you haven't paid attention to the other side, that soft skill side of communication, of, say, negotiation, of the things that need to happen when you're working with other people and collaborating with other people. If you're not focused on that as much, you're probably rusty. So you want to get on the fast track with your soft skills. And 2 chief ways to do that, 2 chief skills. Number 1, listening. And you may say, listening, it's kind of boring. And it's easy, right? Someone's talking and you listen. Well, for most of us, we could check ourselves and ask, when someone else is talking, am I actually thinking about what I'm going to say next? Then I'm not really listening. Or am I so excited about what I'm going to say next that I kind of clip off the end of just the last syllable of what they were saying because I couldn't wait to get my word in there? It's a dead giveaway to somebody. Even if you felt like you were listening, it communicates to them that you weren't listening. So listening, huge one to practice. Really look at yourself, observe yourself, and see, how can I improve my listening? Because you get better at listening, it takes you so far with your soft skills. Second, empathy. Empathy is one of those things, kind of sounds nicey-nicey, which definitely is a turnoff, and yet it's the opposite of that. Empathy is heroic. Empathy requires intelligence. It requires exquisite attention. If you're going to do it genuinely, and if it's not genuine, people are going to smell that a mile away and they're going to run from you. So if you're going to do it genuinely, it requires a huge amount of power. And what I mean by that is it requires self-control, because what you want to do is get in there and they've said something and you want to respond to it immediately and you want to say your piece. But the self-control to hold that back and to be patient and to first show them that you are tracking with them. You don't have to agree, certainly isn't about sympathy, which a lot of people mistake, but to track with them and show them that you care about really getting, and you can get a sense of how they possibly feel about whatever this is, whatever business thing or even personal thing that they have shared with you, that you can get a sense of how tough that is. And you demonstrate that. It's rare. Genuinely doing this is rare, and it's powerful. If you want to keep your job, if you want to advance in your career, recognize the value of soft skills and then really get on the fast track with the two big ones, listening and empathy.